Hi guys, welcome to my show. My name is Abuja. If this is your first time seeing my face, please do not make it your last by clicking on the subscription button and the notification bell so that anytime that new video goes up, you'll be among the first persons to be notified. On today's show, I want to talk about a couple of things. Number one being that I'm in need of an apartment. Number two, it was Nigerians Democracy Day a couple of days ago. Number three, we want to talk about boundaries and secrets of marriage. And then finally, we want to talk about finance being a reason why somebody can decide not to get married to you. If this is something you're interested in, stay, don't touch that dial. When we come back on the short break, we'll get a jump into these conversations. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. My name is Maranatha. If you're not feeling comfortable, you can call me Ene. Funny enough, I actually do prefer it, or you can call me Mara. But when I tell people Mara, sometimes it makes them feel like it is Amara. My name is not Amara, it is Maranatha. But yeah, without wasting much of your time, I want to get a jump into these conversations. I want to talk a bit about what happened during my week. As you can see, I'm without glasses today. That should tell you that something has happened to my glasses. A couple of days ago, I was reading a book, Emem Bassey's book. If you haven't read it, I think you should get a jump on it. It's called Love's Present. It was released this month, this June. If you haven't read it, I think that you should get a jump on it. So whilst I was reading this book, I wanted to get into another book. I had seen online, and I left my glasses on the bed. So usually I put my glasses close to my pillow or below my bed stand, right? So that when I wake up, I can easily have access to it. Tell me why somehow the glasses slid down to where my knee was. So whilst I was trying to cuddle, you know that cuddle position you do where you move your knee on top, basically on top of the other. My knee just landed on top of my glasses. That was it. So yeah, right now I'm in need of glasses. And secondly, I realized that somehow I'm not utilizing all the spaces that I have in this house. So what I have started to do since last week is that I would, for some hours during the day or during my morning, bring my yoga mat, lie down in this living room, ensuring that every space in this house, because I can't pay this amount of money and then end up staying in my bedroom. It doesn't make sense. I used to work from here before, but my table, something happened to one of the legs of my table. I think we had moved it in a very weird way, so it's not standing properly, and I wouldn't want to face the wall while working here. So I have moved my workstation from my living room to my bedroom. So you can imagine I spend almost all day in my bedroom. So now what I've resorted to doing is coming here, making sure that every day between probably 9 and 10, I would come here and make sure that I spend enough time here until maybe my actual work time by 2. Then I go back to the bedroom. Or sometimes I still work here for a bit and then go back into my bedroom maybe 4, 5. It doesn't make sense. So now I'm thinking, what's the point of getting a one bed where I spend my entire time in the bedroom? So what I decided is that maybe next year I am going to look for, all these houses in Abuja where the entire family are not around, like they've moved to maybe outside the country or someplace else and the house is just vacant. If you are one of such persons, please, I want to volunteer my services. My new service is now that I will caretaker your house for you. So I'll take care of the house without paying anything. And then I would get to live there. It's a win-win. If you think about it, your house will not rot away. And when you come back, you always come back to a clean space without snakes or reptiles living or taking abode in your apartment. So if you think about it, it's a win-win situation. So if you have a house in Abuja where you do not stay for so long and you're going to be away, please, I want you to hire my services. Hire me so that when I live in that kind of house, I know that I'm not wasting house rent for a place that I'm not going to be utilizing to its full potential. So think about it. You're helping me, I'm helping you. It's a win-win situation. Otherwise, my second option is that I've decided that next year I'm going to get a one-room apartment, and all of these things that I have in this house that's occupying all these spaces, I will distribute them to all my friends. Yes, maybe I'll keep my couch in someone's house. I'll keep my television, which I don't even watch, by the way, right? So also, when I come into the living room, I always try to turn it on. Let it just be playing, even if I have to mute it, because obviously I'm working. I'm either doing a research essay or I'm writing a story or something. So I have to mute it, but at least let it come up so I know that, okay, these things that are in this house, I'm utilizing them. So yeah, that's what I think, right? Now, the next thing I want to go into is that Nigeria celebrated its Democracy Day the other day. And whilst I put a not so democracy post on my Instagram, I do know that a whole other thing was going on Twitter, or on X rather. My partner sent it to me, and it was that Tinubu collapsed whilst he was trying to inspect the new parade or something. I feel so bad for the guy, right? I didn't find it funny. To be frank with you, I didn't laugh. It wasn't funny. But then, I think that should tell us something as a society, right? It's okay to have ambitions. It's okay to want to lead or want to experience presidency before you leave the world or something. That's very commendable. But I think it should also tell us that that's why there is no democracy. Because if you think back to how this election was done, you would know that this thing is not supposed to be, right? This is not the people's choice. And I think that's why a lot of people are comfortable trolling the guy. I mean, I just feel really bad for him. Plus, if we are going by government of the people, for the people, and by the people, and all of that, isn't there an age limit as to a person's age that can be voted for? Right? And I believe that this man is well above that age. So what are we doing? What are we doing, for crying out loud? I feel like this is the time that this man is supposed to be back in his house and enjoying his time with his wife and children. But here we are, and things are not even getting better. So honestly, like I said before, I feel like this entire thing is for an agenda, and they are selling us off, because whatever this thing they are doing is, I still don't feel like we are an independent nation, whilst we have all these other nations looking in and trying to get a piece of us. Like, we are terrible people already, and then greed is what wants to end us in this country. But anyway, happy democracy in Nigeria or not, I really don't know what we're celebrating, but that's okay. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have changed my nose jewelry to a silver one. I don't know how I feel about this. It doesn't look so different from the other one, but yay, it was a gift. So yeah, I'm happy about it. I think I did change this one as well, my tragus ring. Yeah, so I'm happy about it. But yeah, let's get right into what I want to talk about. So my brother sent me this link of a story on Facebook. Truthfully, I'd seen it first on Ife's Instagram probably 2 weeks ago. I had said I want to talk about it, but again, I was away and, you know, yada, yada, yada. But today, I think I want to talk about it. And then I'll tell you how I feel. And then if you don't agree with me, then I think use your comment section to tell me why you think that what I'm saying is trash or doesn't make sense. Of course, without insulting me, let's learn as a society, as a community, to always air our opinion without insulting somebody else. The story is about this young woman who said that she's been in a relationship with this man for maybe a year or two. I can't remember now. She's told this man, oh, I'm not from a wealthy home, I'm from a really humble background. The man ends up meeting the family and then he ghosted her. And then after a while of pushing and pushing, he told her, oh, I'm so sorry, this thing cannot go on because your family, I know you told me your family is poor, but I didn't think that they were this poor to this extent. And so I don't think that I want to continue having a relationship with you. So they ended the relationship. Now, there are a lot of opinions about, oh no, human beings are wicked. This should propel you into being a woman that you want to be, chase your career, do whatever, blah, 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 blah. Yes, I'm all for all that, woman empowerment, blah, 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 and all that. But I think that it is very harsh of us to judge the man in a way that makes it seem like what he's done or what he said. I'll get into what he did, right? What he said is the wrong thing. You guys, he didn't say anything wrong. Maybe the approach to which he said it is what I might have a problem with. But I don't think that we should judge a person because he doesn't want a certain level of burden on himself. I know that we always think, oh, you're from a poor background. One day a rich man is going to come and solve all your problems and all that. And it's good, right? And there are people who are very generous or very okay with that. But if we're being frank, honest with ourselves, what that means is that you are basically going to be absorbing this other family as your own. And you're meant to cater for each and every one of them from the very top to the very end. I want you guys to think about it though. Think about it critically. If you were the one, you want to get married to somebody, and this person's entire family burden is going to be on you. No matter how rich you are as a normal Nigerian, I don't want to use or people like Dangote or people who have stocks or businesses or whatever. I think that you would be scared, and you'll be scared because you know that everything that this person is now, you're going to be absorbing it. And I think that's a very genuine reason to end a relationship. So if you ask me, how many people I've dated, how many people I've had like an actual relationship with, I don't think there are up to 5. Like genuinely, I don't think that I've dated up to 5 people. And I'm 29. You guys, I'm 29 and I don't think I've dated up to 5 people. And this is because when I was in secondary school, I didn't think that it was okay for me to date anybody and become completely dependent on a person, in the sense that I would never be able to reciprocate whatever gifts this person is going to be given to me. And so for a very long time, I was always feeling weird to date somebody who had a higher financial status than me. So what that meant is that if I actually wanted to date, I would date somebody on my level, which is crazy because we are not going to be there wasting each other's time. And so for a very long time, secondary school, first year of uni, second year of uni, I didn't think that it was okay for me to want to date anybody, because with relationship comes responsibility. No matter how you want to think about it, there is a level of responsibility that you owe to each other. So now imagine, as a young person, I had this kind of mindset. I didn't want to date anybody or be serious with anybody because I always felt that, oh, I didn't want to be insulted. One, I didn't want to be completely dependent on this person, because whether you like it or not, being in a relationship with a person will always make you feel like you can breathe a little, or you can talk to this person without feeling a certain kind of way. So if I was feeling that way back then, so imagine now that, oh, I'm at a marriageable age, right? And I want to be with a person, and I end up with a man or a woman. Say for instance, I'm a man, right? And I end up with a woman whose family doesn't have anything going for them. Of course, I always believe that there is a grace bestowed on anybody. Everybody's time is not the same, yada, yada, yada. Yes, I believe in that. But if you're being honest, right? No matter how rich you are, you'll be limited in what you can do because of this extra burden, in quotes, that you have decided to carry along. So, honestly, I don't think that the man said anything wrong. And I know that there are always, maybe it's shocking for a lot of people because there's women who are richer, who are always like, oh, I don't want to be with a poor person or a poor man. right? But I think that genuinely, I think about this thing. Even now, I think about it where if you're marrying a person, you can't just focus on the person you're marrying alone. You have to think about, oh, how is both of our families going to be absorbed into each other? What does being with this person mean for me in terms of their family dynamics? How is that going to affect me as a person? So I think that if you want to actually get married to a person and you aren't thinking about this thing, you're not ready. You're not ready. So again, that man didn't say anything wrong. Maybe the approach he took, maybe because again, sometimes we are shocked or so shocked by situations that we don't handle it properly. But rather than focusing on the way that he said it, he wasn't kind and blah, 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 blah. I think that young man saw that this is going to be a lot of burden for him and he decided to call it quits. Before I started recording this video, I was on Instagram briefly and I saw a story again on a first Instagram. A young lady had said that she earned 5 million naira monthly, but because of black tax, she's not able to do a lot for herself. There was once upon a time where I would have 5,000 naira. I've thought about saving the money. One of my siblings or my friends will come and I won't think about it and I'll give them the money. As time went on and on and on during my NYSC, a year after NYSC, I started to realize that there were things I would usually gift to people that I don't have. I started to feel resentment because sometimes I don't get the same things when I am the one at the other end of it. I have to teach myself that, everybody's struggling. You are also struggling. But you're going to keep remaining in the same position and not really helping anybody or a lot more people if you keep doing this thing. Whereas these people can actually handle these situations whether you give them your last card or not. So you can be the one person in your family who is doing extremely well, but you have to learn to put boundaries around how much they can manipulate you into giving them. So it's not even that you're not giving them. It is that, oh, you're earning this amount of money. I think you should be giving me all of your money. And I think that is what it is. So if a person who is earning that high is complaining of her own family, imagine you who is an outsider who wants to marry into the family, knowing fully well that you have entitled brats, including the parents. So please, as a society, I think that we always like to judge people first without really thinking about it. If you were in that situation, would you not be angry about it? I was talking to one of my friends about this same thing, maybe 2 or 3 months ago, where I was complaining about a certain situation and he was telling me about a certain situation that is exactly this thing. So honestly, this is something I worry about. It is okay for you to be doing good. It's okay for you to pray that you're doing well. But if you are the only person who is doing well and the others aren't doing well, just know that the entire thing you're working is for them. At the end of the day, you're not going to build anything. You're not going to create anything because you're worrying so much about the livelihood of these people whom you love. So honestly, it's something I worry about. If you're with a man who is the only one that is doing well in his family, rest assured that that entire burden is going to come on you too, whether you like it or not. Or you're with a woman whose family constantly siphons money from her. The moment she stops doing that, the family would hate you. Because why? Our son used to do this thing for us before. All of a sudden, our son is not doing it anymore, so you must be the bad person. So I always worry that if you're in a relationship with a person who doesn't know how to create boundaries around finance and money, and the entire family is dependent on you, nobody's really doing anything seriously because they trust and believe that you would always do it. If you get married to this person, I promise you, half of the burden is going to be on you. If not, you're going to be having so many problems arguments in the marriage or relationship even. If you haven't learned to be disciplined around how you give your family money, when you get married, it's going to be a big problem. And another thing is, one of my classmates last year were talking about, I know I've talked about these boundaries and secrets on this platform more than 2 times, right? This should be about my 3rd time saying this thing. And I know the last time I talked about it, the first time I talked about it on the podcast, it was around money again, and I think abusive relationship. Being in a marriage where your husband beats you, your wife beats you, and you think that that's part of the secrets or boundaries, you can't talk to your families about it, or that your husband is a step away from financial ruin and you can't talk to your friends and family for assistance. You know, I am not going to talk about all that. What I want to talk about is my classmates a year or 2 ago were talking about that boundaries and secrets I had talked about on the podcast. And she was saying that before she got married, she and her husband spoke and they talked about family members not coming to stay in the house for an extended period of time because it's going to cause problems and blah, blah, blah. And there was a story this week my brother was talking to me about, not my brother now, one of my work colleagues was talking to me about, and this woman was saying that, I'm a married woman, I have certain rules in my house, and if you're coming in as a guest, you have to abide by those rules. And again, everybody is like, why would you say stuff like, don't wear bomb shots in my house, don't play loud music in my house, and blah, blah, blah. And it just got me laughing. And I think it is the audacity of Nigerians to always think that you have an entitlement into somebody else's space. It's crazy. I don't like noise as such, right? And so if you're coming into my house and you're playing loud music, I'm going to be looking at you in a very weird way. Because why did you leave your own house? Come to my house, come and disturb me. You can as well go back. My house is supposed to be the most comfortable place for me, not for you. If you're coming, I can accommodate you as a guest, right? But you also have to think about me, that you're coming to stay in my house. So why would you come to my house? You use stuff, you can't clean it. You go to the bathroom, you can't think about, when I entered this bathroom, this place was clean. So when I finish, I'm supposed to clean soap suds from the wall. I have to be cleaning after you. What are you doing in my house? So please, respect people's boundaries. If you come to my house, I don't like my door being open because flies can come in. Please respect me. If you cannot do that, go back to your house. If you're in my house and I'm telling you that, you're making noise, please go back to your house. I can only tolerate you for a couple of days. But if you don't think that, the person you are coming, like I have my own life. I have things that I've already planned my week to do. You're coming into my space. Be wise to know that you might be inconveniencing this person. Talk more of, you're coming to my house as a married woman. And I'm telling you that, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. And you start feeling somehow like, why are you giving me rules? Excuse you. I won't come to your house and do stuff that you don't like. Let's be guided, please. So people were coming at that woman on social media, and I just think people are very entitled. Very, very entitled. As your friend, you can come to my space, and I would really like that you're in my space, but be smart enough to not make me clean up after you. Because you're not a child. Why are you coming to my space and leaving dirtiness or filth all over the place? You're going to go back to your house. So, do you understand what I mean? So I feel like if you haven't set boundaries with your family members about the person you're getting married, there will always be problems, because the family members cannot come into your space and be forming my brother's house. Both of you's house now. So there are certain things that your family members have to respect. And for you as well, there are certain things your husband do not like that your family members also have to respect. Again, maybe it's children that are getting married, because these things I would expect are normal etiquettes that you will learn. When you visit people's houses, you learn to respect the person's house you're in. Otherwise, you go home. You go home, and I really don't care if you're my in-law or not. It's not your son's house, it's your son's and I's house. Do you understand what I mean? So anyway, that's that on that. The last thing I want to end with before we call this a day. This week, I finally watched Bridgerton season 3, the first part, and Beyond the Veil. Bridgerton, again, as usual, it was good. Collins and Penelope's story, and a bit of Cressida Cowper's story, Eloise, and the entire Bridgerton family. I like their story, and I like the direction it took. But I think that the carriage scene, you guys were so bewildered about. Honestly, it was normal to me. I don't know. Maybe I preferred the kissing scene to the carriage scene, honestly, but it was good. Today, I'm cutting this scene on a Thursday, so the second part is coming out, and I really can't wait to get into it. I'll watch it over the weekend, and then we'll talk a bit about it in next week's video. Now, the other series that I saw is Beyond the Veil. Season 1 came out sometime last year, and then season 2 came out. And it was good, I would say. It was good. I think that it was a little slow paced compared to season 1, which I don't know that I like it so much, but okay, I understand. Now, this season, I don't think there was any really wow moments, I would say, except for maybe the cliffhanger, which is Sadiq being kidnapped by somebody that we don't know. Do you know that I'm suspecting this guy, Tariq, for a very reason. I don't know why, but I'm suspecting Tariq. But again, the documents that Bilkis found might have a link or a connection to Sadiq. I don't know. I'm really sad that Hanifa didn't make it, which is something I want to talk about. What is people's problem with giving birth through C-section? Now, I want to understand, and now I'm asking, I know that there are Muslims, but I really want to ask Christians. If you are a Christian and you understand what giving birth like the Hebrew woman really means, please, I want you to come into this comment section and explain to me, because I feel like that thing is a myth. And it's a myth because, as far as I know, correct me again if I'm wrong, it was used only in Exodus chapter 1. And what he was saying there is not necessarily that the Israelite women gave birth without any assistance or anything. Egyptian midwives lied. They lied in order to protect the Israelite women, the male children, from being killed. So please, I beg you guys, where did you guys get this Hebrew woman giving birth to assistance from? Because if you ever go back to Genesis, when Adam and Eve were being kicked out of the Garden of Eden, having difficult labor was one of the curses that were placed on the woman. So, okay, yes, there's the grace of Jesus Christ that has come to redeem us and all that, right? But like, where are preachers or people in general getting the idea that giving birth like a Hebrew woman means giving birth through the normal way and not through a C-section? See, it pained me. I feel like I was a lot more angry at her deciding not to give birth through C-section than her even dying. I don't even know if the son is alive, right? So you could have easily just allowed them taking the child off and you will save your strength. But no, I don't want a C-section. I'm gonna try, but you are really tired. Like, what the hell is wrong with all of the people? I know I've said this thing on this platform even about a man who abandoned his family at the hospital and didn't pay hospital bills because the wife gave birth through C-section. Like, honestly, again, correct me if I'm wrong, where did you guys get the idea that Israelite women did not give birth with assistance from the midwives? So please, when you guys are making all these assumptions about what the Bible says and all that, I want you to go back to your Bible and read it by yourself and ask the Holy Spirit for understanding. I didn't like that. I didn't like that statement at all. I didn't like it for whatever reason. Why aren't women embracing giving birth through C-section, especially when it concerns your life and that of the child? Because what's the point of going through 9 months of hell, not being able to give birth or stay alive to raise your child, despite it all because you don't want to have a C-section? Like I said, if you think that there is a place in the Bible where it explicitly said that the Israelite women gave birth without assistance from the midwife, please come to my comment section and let me know. Now, what again I want to talk about? Oh, the part where the woman was talking to Neymar about a Muslim girl should not marry a Christian man, and why it's okay for a Muslim man to marry a Christian woman. I feel like it's somehow, right? Because if you're saying that the reason is because the courts cannot be protected by the courts or whatever, so if a Muslim man marries a Christian woman, how is the woman protected? So at the end of the day, it's all just ways to keep oppressing women. Like our laws and all our religious books keeps oppressing women. They keep finding ways to keep oppressing women. I didn't like it, and it was a topic of conversation for a lot of people on social media. And I just saw it last night, and I'm just really like, it's a total load of bullshit. That's how I feel, because whatever she was saying, at the end of the day, the woman is still not protected. That's all I can say. I don't like that Zainab and what's his name, Kasim's relationship is just somehow. And I feel bad that they're stringing Mariam along, because Mariam seems like a very nice girl. And I feel so bad for her, because now that she's back in the picture, I feel like Kasim is going to throw all this entire thing into the wind. A very lovely series, actually. And so I recommend it. Watch it. And come to my comment section, let's discuss. This is where I'll end today's video. It is on Spotify. Yay! But I think that after this season, I'm going to stop the podcast entirely and just focus on the YouTube. I've said this over and over a couple of times. And I just feel like maybe it's actually time. It's time to let it go. It's time to let it go. I also, if you've noticed, I have not done anything for my book club, and I think also it's time to let that go. I don't know that I have an end goal to that book club. And to be frank, I read a lot more books and discuss whatever I want with whomever I want. And sometimes I feel like I'm putting more anxiety on myself by creating a book club where every of the month I'm worried that nobody's going to show up, or one person is going to show up, and I really don't want to add that to the couple of problems that I have in my life. So yeah, I'm putting an end to that. I have already closed down the Instagram. Well, I deactivated it, not deleted. I don't know, maybe I might have a need for something in the future, but for now, I don't think it's something I want to do. Also, for the podcast, I'm going to put an end to it after season 3. And yeah, focus on what I can handle and think more clearly about what I want for my life, or the direction I want my life to go. So yeah, this is the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, give me a thumbs up. If you did not enjoy it, give me a thumbs up. Please like, please share, please comment. There are key questions I asked in this video, so please do well to leave your comments, letting me know how you feel, or if you agree, or explaining to me if whatever I said today didn't make sense to you. Also share to family and friends. Oh yeah, it's my brother's birthday. Video is coming out on my brother's birthday. I have one brother, so yes, shout out to you, Joseph. I wish you many happy years, and I pray that your prayers for this year as we turn 27 will come to pass. Cheers, and see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.